Hey guys, it's me Valeria, and I'm back here with another video. I've realized that I've been doing some interesting stuff lately, and I haven't been vlogging it at all, which I feel like terrible, but I don't know. I'll see what I'm gonna do. I still don't know, but I enjoy making these types of videos. So today I'm bringing you with the ghost story video, and ever since I mentioned it. I can't talk today. Ever since I mentioned it in my last video, I had friends and people tell me do a ghost video, do a ghost video, do a ghost stories video. And so here we are today doing a ghost story video. Yeah, so today I'm gonna talk about my one of my old houses back in Mexico. It was actually my last house. It was creepy. There's a lot of stories, but today I'm going to talk about 5. And they're there are stories, but it's kind of just little things that would happen in the house. We lived there for a couple of years, but thank God we're out of the house. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is we had a 2-story house, and the living room and the kitchen was downstairs, and then all the rooms and the bathroom were upstairs. And the way that my kitchen was, it was just a box. It was very, very spacious, and most of the appliances were along one wall, and then the fridge was along the other one, and then there was just we had our dining room table against another wall. And so there was this huge gap in the middle. So my dad, he cooked for us all the time. He's a really great cook. And I remember him or my mom telling me that my dad would be cooking, and it'd only be him in the kitchen, and that every once in a while he'll feel somebody tapping his shoulder, which is creepy. And it's because also the thing is when you're cooking on the stove, the entrance to the kitchen was in the back, it was behind you, so you couldn't really see the doorway, I guess. And for me, I have a really weird thing when I sleep, I have to be facing the door, or whatever, it's just a weird thing. Makes me feel safe. So just for me thinking about it makes me creep. I don't know, it's just weird. So that was one of the things. I don't know how often this happened, but it happened more than once. You would just feel a little tap on his shoulder. Maybe the ghost is trying to tell him good job, this smells good, or something. But anyways, another thing that would happen is that I basically grew up in that house. I had another house before that, but I was very little when I was in the house, and I was your typical girl. I loved princesses. That's a thing, right? Yeah, princesses. I loved dolls. I loved everything that a little stereotypical little girl would like. And so I had my room, which connected to another room that was filled with toys. And when my 2 brothers, my brother and sister, were born, they moved into my room, and I moved into the connecting room. I had my bed, and then I had a little nightstand next to me, and I like to have my lamp, and then this little doll. I feel you know where this is going. That was around the time where well, not around the time, but I just loved all the movies, all the Disney movies. So I was really into Toy Story, and the whole your toys come to life. And I love that doll so much. And I remember sitting her next to me in my nightstand, and just she'd be against the wall, and she'd be facing that way. So she'd be just next to me, and she'd be facing the same way I was facing when I sleep. And I would always feel really weird putting her there and just having her face that way. It was always a very weird thing. Sometimes it would take me a little bit longer to fall asleep because she made me feel nervous, but I wanted her to sit there like that, and I wanted her to look that way because I just loved that doll so much. I would wake up in the morning, and the doll would be facing my way. So if she's facing this way and I'm over here, she'd be facing this way now. She'd be facing me, and she'd be leaning against my lamp. And that's weird. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's just creepy, like little again. And I didn't really like think much of it. I was just very into the idea, oh, she must have just woken up at night and she moved around and she just ended up like looking at me. And this happened like very often, I guess, but I was little again and I didn't think much of it. Third thing, my mom used to tell me that, well, she still does, I would fall asleep downstairs in the living room sometimes. My parents would just go upstairs and go to bed, and they'll just let me like sleep in the cold living room downstairs. And the way her room was like organized, I guess it's my parents' room, but I'm just gonna say my mom's room. Her bed was like right next to the doorway, so here's the wall, right? And then her bed is like facing this way, and then the doorway's like right here. So if you're like laying down on the bed and you like look over, the doorway would be right there. And my mom used to tell me that at night she used to like hear footsteps coming up the stairs. If you were to just look out, like you'd see the stairway. My stairs were glass, like, you know, some stairs have carpets or whatever. Like mine, you could hear the steps. And one time, like when she would hear them, she would think like, oh, it's just Valeria coming up the stairs. She's probably just gonna sneak into bed with us, because logic, you know. And one time, like the actual like footsteps woke her up, and she just looked up expecting me to be there, like expecting to see me coming up the stairs. And she looks over, and guess what? I'm not there. And so then she kind of like freaks out. She's like, oh, maybe she woke up, she came up the stairs and went back down or whatever. She stands up, she goes down the stairs, she goes downstairs, and she sees me sound asleep, like asleep. And no, I didn't sleepwalk or anything like that, but yeah, that was really, really weird. The third thing is that there's just this like story that, again, my mom used to tell me, that my brother would like strictly not go into that connecting room, because like every time you like tell him like, go get me something from the room or whatever, he'll like freak out, because he's like, no. And like there were times where he would cry and he would like scream because he wouldn't want to go in that room. And what he would tell us was that, no, there's a dog in that room, and that dog is scary, and I don't want to go in that room. And so we're like, we don't own any dogs. Like, I've never had a pet in my life. And so we're like, what dog? And he's like, it's right there. Can't you see that dog? And then we're like, no. Like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, that dog. And he would just cry and bawl and like fear to this dog. And it took him a while to like accept the fact that there was no dog there. And again, he's like 5 years old. He's like very, very little, maybe even younger than that. And it took a while for us to convince him that there was no dog, but it was like one of these like unspoken things where there was a dog in that room, which again, creepy. And the last thing that I want to talk about is that, again, this connecting room seemed to have like a lot of things. Now that I'm thinking about it, from the connecting room you can go out to a balcony. And this balcony, like, we never used it. It was very, very small. Like, you couldn't even fit a chair in there. I mean, maybe you could, but it was only big enough for you to walk out there and just see the outside. But we never really used it. It was like very old and like dirty, and just we wouldn't use it. I'm not really sure the exact like legit story of this. I don't remember like when this happened or whatever, but I just remember my parents telling me, by the way, that this connecting room had a window, and it was like one of those like half windows that it's only like on top, like it's only this like strip of window like at the very top of your wall, so it wasn't a full window. And so going back to the story, I guess my dad one time, I'm pretty sure this was night, that he woke up or whatever, and he was just walking around the house. He got out of his room and he like looks over to the room in the connecting room, and he like looks at the window and he sees like the shape of someone. He's like, what? Like, what the heck? So then he like turns away and then turns back and looks at the window again, and there's nothing there. And he's like, oh, it's late at night, I'm probably just imagining things. And then he comes back to the window and like that figure is like there again. and this time he realizes that this figure or like shape or whatever looks like a boy and has like eyes and features of a little boy. So my dad is just like, what? That never got explained either. I don't know how often this happened, if this was just one time, but yeah. That's all I have for you guys today. If I would have kept like continuing on, this video would have been too long, which by the way, I just wanted to like quick disclaimer. I had like people tell me that I talk too much, and yeah, I talk a lot, and I admit it. Like, I'll be in the car and like I'll tell my mom like about my day, and she'd be like, you just shut up, like you're talking too much. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I do talk a lot, but you know, if you can't deal with it, like, sorry not sorry. Like, that's just literally who I am. I just talk a lot and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Reason why my last video was 16 minutes and this one is already 16 minutes right here. I really hope you enjoy this video. I'm getting a lot better at like looking at the camera instead of the screen, which I'm fairly proud of. I realize that my filming schedule is on Wednesdays, so I'll be trying really hard to get a video up every week. I still don't know when I'll upload them, but I'll be filming every Wednesday, so hopefully this video will be uploaded sometime this week. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you'll know. But I really hope you enjoy this. I do have a lot of other ghost stories from my grandma's house, from like pretty much everywhere I've lived. Even the apartment that I'm living in right now, it's, I don't know, just ghosts follow me, and I have just a lot of like personal experiences. So if you like this video, this was like just like very simple, like this is the minimal things that have happened to me and like my family or whatever. Like there have been worse things. So if you'd like to see more, just comment down below or like this video to let me know that you liked it and you want to see more. And until next time, I shall see you later. And also, if you're watching this and you're kind enough, comment down below like what kind of other videos you'd like to see. Comment down below what you want to see if you like this, and like the video if you like this, and if you didn't like the video, like it. I'll see you guys until the next time. Bye!